The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning. Thank you for attending this webinar concerning Boyum and Boyum Print and Delivery. Please feel free to ask questions in a moment. Oh, sorry, my name is Julie Stewart and I'm the new Customer Services Manager at Signum. I hope that you got the email. In a moment, I'm going to introduce Rosie, who is the product expert for Boyum, who will take you through Boyum and print and delivery. That's all I've got to say for the time being, but just to round off before I leave, to say, if you have any questions, please do contact Signum or me directly on the numbers that were on the email. This is Rosie. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to say your last name because I'll get it wrong. I'm terribly sorry.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hello, everybody. Yes, I'm Rosie Coronado. It's very easy to say. I'm with the Boyum team, and I'm very happy to show you our products, the B1 Usability Package. I understand you might have it already running. We have some new customers on the line, so I will go through the usability package. You might see some things you weren't aware of, and then we will be covering print and delivery. Okay, so just a little bit of background of me. I used to be a SAP user. I used to implement SAP Business One, and now I joined the Boyum team because Boyum, they really concentrate to make sure the system works for you. Whatever the customer requests, what SAP maybe can't do, we see if the Boyum usability package can do. Okay, so this is I hope you all can see my slide. Otherwise, please raise your hands. This is the SAP Business One without any add-ons, and this is how it can look with the Boyum usability package. As I said, we are all about customizing and put logic in there and make the system work for you so you can save time and be more productive. We have more than 5,000 customers.
Rosie, I'm terribly sorry to interrupt you, and I'm not sure if anybody else who's connected to the webinar has the same issue we have. We can't see anything.
Oh my goodness, hold on. Dan, can you see me? Are you still here?
Yeah, I can see.
Can you see?
Yeah.
I'm sharing my screen. Can any of the Martin? I'm gonna Martin, can you see? Hello? Richard, can you see?
Yeah, I can see.
You can see? Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Join. Who else do we have here? Adam, can you see?
It is us. Don't worry about it, Rosie.
Oh, that's you. Oh, sorry.
Thank you. I'm terribly sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. Martin, can you see? Hello? He maybe doesn't have a microphone. Richard can see, so should I go ahead and continue?
Yes, please. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, Martin said that he can see via the question thing, so
he said yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, then I'm gonna continue. It might be okay. So we have more than 5,000 customers, 90 plus countries. Hopefully we're gonna hit 100 soon, and we're almost gonna hit 100,000 users soon. Those are our products. Today we're gonna cover the B1 usability package. That's one add-on, and the yellow circles you see around it, those are modules within the usability package. What that means, you pay what you need. You have the usability package, and for example, you need some print and delivery license, then you just pay how many licenses you need. Then we also have B1 Budget, really quick. It's an extension to the budget SAP. You can do budgets on the general ledger accounts. With the B1 Usability Package, you can do budget on the customer group, item group, and by sales employee. B1 Time Task is a module where you can record time towards a task in SAP Business One, and then you can create invoices to make sure you don't miss any billing if you're in the service industry, for example. B1 MailChimp is an integration to MailChimp, very much liked. You can upload your contacts in SAP to your MailChimp newsletter lists, and then you can get statistics reports in SAP Business One. If somebody unsubscribed, if an email bounced, and so on. And B1 Document Manager is, you can do add-on in SAP. SAP can do that now. Way back when it came out, you couldn't do attachments. That's what B1 Document Manager does. The only difference is you right-click, attach the document, and then if you want to find it, you right-click, put in a keyword, and it finds it for you. So you don't need to know where it is. On the left, we also have a CRM for Outlook integration, and B1 iPayment add-on have become very popular. Talk to your partner. They can set up a demo if needed. So what is the B1 Usability Package? Create new navigation, automate your tasks, validate your data, make sure your data is correct, or mandatory, make sure data is in there. Sometimes, users forget to put stuff in there, and it's for the accounting office. I used to do a lot on the accounting side. It's really a pain to get that information, so you can make mandatory fields to make sure you have everything you need on the documents. And then we have dashboards. Dashboards came out 2017. Very much liked by the users because we already have predefined dashboards, and then of course you can build your own dashboards. So what happens usually when you need customization? We all know, I used to do that a lot. You need a developer, you do scoping, the code, and then you do the testing, and you go back and forth a lot of times. And then you're gonna train your customers, you get trained, and then you might find something. So it takes a lot of time and money. And the other thing is with B1 Usability Package, always remember we work very closely with SAP. So if there's an upgrade, your partner does an upgrade, you don't have to worry about it. We'll make sure our add-ons work with the new versions with SAP. Our developer works with SAP. Okay, what can be done in 5 minutes? Let's go to the fun part. If I go into SAP, I have it open twice, and I put in a sales order, you see our dashboards here. I'm going to minimize it and I'll show it to you in a little bit. If I go into SAP and I click the wrong thing, and I put in some items, and you see already my screen totally designed with the usability package, and I'm gonna give some discounts, put in and click add. You see I get a message. I'm validating my lines on the sales order. It tells me following lines have more than 10% discount, and it tells me the item code. Of course, I could also say show me the item description. So in my case, I said, do you want to continue? Yes or no. It's a warning, more or less, but you can also block the user. You said, no, you cannot give more than 10% discount. So this is something you can set up within 5 minutes. If I go back here, so what else can we do? So I'm going to go in, and for the participants, they already have a usability package, you know that. But for the new prospects, I will go through it to the screen design. Anyways, if I go up here again, and I go to Business Partner Master Data, you also see right here, you can change the menu in a very simple way, or you can go ahead and create your own menu, and you just can do external launchers, for example, website, or you do a crystal report. So you can create your own menu, or you change it, and really all you need to do is make sure you have system information checked, and you right click, you go to B1 Usability Package, and you say Add Edit Menu. Because when you go up here to Marshall, and if I go to PP Business Partner, you see on the bottom, my UID is 43535. On the existing menu, I'll put it in here, and let's call it customers, and vendors, and update, and you will see it's going to change to customer and vendors right there. And you see right here, it's already changed. That's how quick it is to change the menu. And then, of course, you can create your own menu, as you saw right here. So if I go in here, Business Partner Master Data, you see my screen's already different. And just by right-clicking, I'm going to show you all the quick right-clicks you can do. You right-click, go to B1 Usability Package, and you just say, hide this item. This is your developer, and all you have to say is add. And it's gone, the item. So it's gone. I had it open twice. If you want to move an item, you just right-click. This is all by doing right-clicking. B1 Usability Package, move this item. You see all this you can do just by right-clicking. It's ask you below or above a field. I'm going to say below, and it's going to ask me click on the label, and I'm going to click OK. And it's going to move it right over there. That's my developer again. And here it is. Okay, if you want to set fields mandatory, you just right click and again, and you just say make this field mandatory. And you see I have one already mandatory, the federal tax ID, and now it's puts in here for me mobile phone. And on the screens you see you can include users and exclude users. So you can do for a certain department, you do mandatory fields maybe, or for certain users. Okay. In my case, I set them all orange, so I know when I log on, those fields are mandatory. And then you can also set them like warning only, so it does let you move on, but it will tell you it's missing. On my federal tax ID, I'm not going to say warning, you gotta have it. I'm going to click update, and you will see that the telefax number or mobile phone number I just set mandatory will turn orange. If you want to set an item read only just for certain users, you just want to have it read only. Again, right click and make this item read only. You will get the business partner all their fields, so it's kind of busy. So what's really cool is if you have again view system information on, which I have, you just right click, and this comes with the B1 Usability Package, and you can see, okay, it's UID 47. This is really handy when you do queries. You can copy the syntax. So if I go right here, you go to 47, and you can make it read only. There we go. I did telephone number. I think I clicked on the fax. I want telephone number. And in OK mode, because sometimes it doesn't make sense in add mode or find mode. If I click update, you will see it's going to be grayed out. Oh, it's mandatory too. I meant to do the fax number. Let me show you really quick. Make field fax number. And there we go, because the other one has already a color. There we go, it's grayed out. Okay, so this is all by right clicking. If you want to do a user defined field, also you just right click, you bring it over to the main menu below. I'm gonna stick it right here and click update, and the user defined field is over in the main menu. That's how simple it is. So in this user defined field, it has to do with items. So of course you're thinking, oh, it's a user defined field, but I have a few items listed. It would be cool if I could do a golden arrow. You can do that. If I go back where I moved that item, and this is the UDF I moved, you have a golden arrow. And I'm going to point it to the item master. You see all those predefined tables you have. I'm going to say item and click update. And I do have to go out and go back in just to update to create the golden arrow. And if I go to my business partner who has actually data in there, it created the golden arrow. There we go. It takes you back to the business partner. Another thing really quick is if you have like a combo box, people that like that also, you are not set to have a combo box over here. If I put it over in the main screen, and then you're like, no, I really want a checkbox with this one, you also can go back to item placement tool. Item placement tool is where you move all your items and you just say, I really want a checkbox. I don't want to have to drop down. And you can change the box, go out, go back in, and you will see you have a checkbox. It's right here. That's how simple it is to use that right-clicking and design your screen. The other thing you see also, this is a validation on the business partner balance. You see how some are gray and are red and some are green. It's because I have a validation running and say, okay, look at the payment payment terms, credit limits. If they're within the credit limit, I want it to show green. If they're above, I want it to show red. Very much liked. You can create new tabs in a very simple way. You right click and you say create new tab, and you can do a custom tab or a SQL tab, and I'll show you. I put in some user-defined field and it's done. If I go out and go back in, you will see the tab is created. There it is. That's how simple it is. A lot of times I just want to have one tab with all the fields I work with. They usually create a tab and then they move all the information, for example, from the channel tab and so on, and move it over to the test tab. You also can do a SQL tab, and the way you do that, you just click on SQL, and then you click add, and then you attach a SQL report. And let's see which one I had. Let me see if this is the one I did. I'm gonna click OK. I created a SQL report. I didn't name it good. And always name your universal function, which could be reports and stuff. And there we go. This is a SQL report. So this was a SQL query I put in here, and it pulls in all my credit memo and invoices. So you can have a grid on your tab. If you prefer, just to show you, I have this SQL query now on a tab, but I also have it here. It's the same thing. You see that? So if you prefer to have it over here on a shortcut button, you can do that also. Okay, so that should give you a very good idea what you can do just by right-clicking. You can do hide, move, new tabs, and so on. Make fields mandatory. Okay, I'm going to pull this up. Easy access. We already saw the buttons on the business partner screen. I should have closed one down. You see all those buttons. You're in the business partner screen. You can go straight to opportunity. This one just called I have another opportunity with this business partner. You can do SQL queries like this one, top 10 items. You can do a multi-button, meaning you have one button and you can do several things. Maybe I want to do an aging, all my sales tasks I want to do from one button. You can do external launchers, meaning outside, you go outside SAP. If I click on this, this comes up. And it's looking for the name of the business partner. The sales report you saw. And then you can have single buttons. Service call, you can put buttons how many ever you want. Okay? So to create a button, very simple. You right click, and I should have deleted some, I'm sorry I have so many. And you go to function button. And you have all those predefined, if I add, you have all those predefined windows you can open. All you have to do is, let me just do aging, let's do a standalone, aging, and the button is created. As soon as you go out and go back in, you will have an aging button. There we go. And of course, the buttons will know if you are on a vendor, it would do AP invoice if you're on an AR invoice, otherwise an AR invoice. I like to go to Maxitech because I have the most, or perimeter, they have data in there. And there we go. This is a single button now. That's how simple it is to create buttons. If you have users that do like the right clicks, you can do that too. It's the same scenario. Instead of button, you can do right clicks. Right there, you see I have a bunch already. This is one, I say my menu, and those are my three, like this multi-button. Or you do single button. like an opportunity. And that's also very simple to set up, exactly like you do the buttons. You right click and you just say edit right click menu. And here you tell it what you want it in the, oops, clicked on the wrong thing. Sorry about that. Right click. Oops, it's messing up now. Come on. Okay, let me get out and go back in. Didn't like something I did. There we go. This is my menu. You just say add and then you call it what it is, and here you see those are all your predefined, exactly like you would do the buttons, and everything with right clicking. This is where you can create shortcuts. Default data. If you have, when you add a customers or vendors, and you know there are certain properties you have to be checked. You always start them with a certain credit limit, a certain payment terms, and so on. Watch this. If I click on add right here, SAP Business One always defaults to the first group, customer group. It's construction because it starts with C. It's alphabetical order. So I have default data set up. I'm going to click yes, and you see it changed to production because most of my customers are production. You see it put in $20,000 in credit limit, and it checked some properties for me. So just to save some clicks and some time for the user, so you can set up default data. Very simple default data configuration. You can do vendors or customers, and you also can do items. You see on the items I have inventory item not checked because I had once a customer, they had a lot of non-inventory items, and by default it's checked, so I have it unchecked. When somebody puts in an item, I want them to check it manually if it's an inventory item. Saves you time, saves you lots of time. Automation, we all like automation. Macros. Macros are you tell the system what to do. I have a couple set up to show you. Let me get out of there. If you do service call, I'm just going to show you this is a service call, and if you have to do a document, an AR invoice or a return, you click here and you have a lot of clicks going right here till you open an AR invoice or a return. So what you can do with the buttons, what you just saw, you just click return here and it does it. Or you want to go a step further, I'm going to click on AR invoice because I want to copy this over. I wanted to copy the item over for me. I want to copy over the reference number, and I also want to copy maybe the subject. So if you look at this, it does it for me. There it is. I have a validation on the reference number because I can do the duplicate. So you see it copied over the reference number. It's the document number on the service call. You see on the remarks, I gotta turn off this validation, copy machine issue, it's in the remarks and it copied over my item. So you save time. Okay. So this is a macro. Another very nice one I love to show is on when you do deliveries. When you do deliveries, we all know when you have batch numbers, for example, in SAP you have to manually select it, and I think it's still like this. For example, if I do batch numbers, I have to go in here and highlight and bring it over manually, and so on. I have a logic with my batch numbers. I'm taking the oldest date. So I'm going to click batch here and see what it does. It does it for me. It selects the oldest batch and does it for me, and done. Saves you lots of time. Automation, think about what can I automate? Where do I have a logic so I can set it up so it does it automatically? I had just an end user here in the UK, and I showed it to her beginning of the year. She said it saves you a ton of time. One more I show you with automation with the macro is I go back to sales order. Excuse me. And again, I'll put in some items. I keep clicking the wrong thing. Happy fingers. And for right here, okay, you got to do an inventory transfer. I have this transfer request. I click on it, and what does it do? It did the inventory transfer for me. If I go right here, to inventory, and it was a request, and there it is, today's date, and it did it for me. So you don't have to do it manually. So this is the stuff I would like, just automate your stuff. A default data entry you saw already, and then you can also a template system. You right click, you create a template, and then if you on a sales order, it collects all the data you want, and then you can just get the template next time, and it saves you time. Okay. So then we also have an Edi solution. If with XML file, you can export and import. In this case, on this print screen, you see AR invoices. Unfortunately, I don't have nothing set up, but if you need more information, let me know. Alerts and validation. Alerts and validation is one of our favorites. I stay in this screen. You saw on this screen already, no available credit. I created a label right here. It's the same scenario like on the business partner account balance. They're over the credit limit. It's nice for your sales employee, okay, to check that. You see I have a little box here, a checkbox urgent order. I can check. And if I go over here, I'm going to put this in because it's mandatory anyway. I have buttons for the sales employee, customer information. This is basically a statistic report about the customer. How many invoices they have, how many are open, how much do they owe, and so on. Again, website. This is very nice for the sales employee too. It goes out and Googles the customer. This is really neat. Shipping. Now watch this. If I click shipping, it adds the shipping for me. This customer usually, in my case, it's a flat amount, pays $50. Now, if I delete that, let me delete this row, and I have it based on quantity in this sample. And I click shipping now, you see it gives him a 50% discount. Because my validation is set 10 and under, you pay full price. If you have between 10 and 15, you get 50% off. And if you have more than 20, you get 100% discount. Just imagine what you can do. So, but you want to show the shipping, of course, even if there's 100% discount, because they should know they got it for free. Okay. Here is the transfer request. You saw select top item. This is a SQL report. I grouped. I did check boxes. I made it editable, so people can go in here. So if you have a huge master data, but you have a group, you really, for them to look it up on the item master data, you want to pull it from here, you can do that and have it feed into their sales order for you. Then also, if you have a deal of the month, you can add it right here, and it highlights it for me the way I have it set up, and it puts it on the sales order also. If you have items, they always order. For example, if you're in a printing business and you always sell paper with every order, you see print and paper, you don't sell always a printer, but in my case, I have it set up like this. It's the paper comes in here. So just imagine what you can do to automate and save time. Right here is the search. This is just if you have a really long sales order and you're saying, okay, did I put this one item? I want to make sure. So you just put a keyword and it jumps to it. That way you don't have to scroll down like this and look for it. So this is really the automation alerts. Create your buttons, and so the user has really easy access to everything. I know SAP sometimes has a lot of clicks, and you can do, on the buttons, you can do a crystal report or a SQL query as you saw. Okay. Toolbox is it does so many things, and what we did, we just put it in. We call it Toolbox, because it's like if you're a mechanic or you're a doctor, you have your little bag and you have everything in there, what you need. And then you can turn the features on or off. One of the ones, especially the ones that have not the usability package yet, I got that a lot in my consulting days. When you add a document in the system, you know how it goes away and you have to pull it back up. Let me just do one item. So you can turn it on. So if I click add, the document comes back for you. You don't have to click that button. It saves your click. You just go here and say go to new sales document and purchase documents and make sure that's checked, and it will stay on the screen. You see use line search, what you just saw. Start the name field. I got that a lot too from customers. If I open up business partner, I want the mouse to default in the name field, not in the code field. Because you know the name, you don't know the code, especially if you have numbers. You will see a couple things here that SAP can do now, absolutely, because Boyum, before SAP could do it, we had that feature. And if SAP can do it now and you have, using automatic numbering, absolutely use SAPs. Another thing is banking. When you do an incoming payment or outgoing payment, it defaults. When you go to payment means it defaults to check. Here you can make it default to transfer. If you do more transfers than check, then it saves you clicks again. That's what we are all about, to save you time. Usability, we have a query, enhanced and advanced editor, and then also for if I have IT people, you can make sure you have all the Boyum tables read-only, so nobody can touch them. So that gives you the flexibility. This here I have also checked on the business partner, and I like to show it because people really like this when I do. You see right here, there's an email button. You can make it active right here, and then it takes you straight to Outlook. Okay. So going back to my slides, this is Toolbox. I usually say go through it, click F1. It explains each one in a very simple way what it does for you. Then we have administrative tools. Administrative tools is, we all know DDW. This is where you can actually do mass updates without using DDW. I had a very exciting, very young support gentleman the other day, and he said, oh, I wish I would have known. Where's my master data? Is it hiding again? 1 second. It hides from me. What it does, it is a master data manager. Let me do something really quick. I made a change before. We got connected, and now it's hiding from me. Let me refresh it really quick, and then, because I really want you to see it. Well, the administrative tool, you can do mass updates. For example, you wanna, this gentleman was so excited, you can up the price list on your customers. You created a new price list. Instead of running DDW, you can do it on the administrative tool. And changes to the new price list. Or for example, if you have a sales employee leaving and he had 100 customers and you have a new sales employee and it needs to move over to the new sales employees, you can do it in there. You don't have to run a DDW. In a very simple way, you can do it in here. And now it should give me the options. There we go. Right here, you can do business partner master data, item master data. For example, right here, you can find all your business partner, or you can do a condition, of course. I'm going to say just those 3. And then what do I want to update? Let's keep it simple. I do the customer group. They all need to go to small accounts. Are you sure you want to do that? Yeah. And it's updated. It all moved them to small accounts. And then you see all those fields you can go ahead and update. Price list, this was very popular the other day. You have a new price list, you say, okay, I'm gonna have those customers go to the standard regular purchase price list, doesn't make sense, those are customers, and then you just execute. And that way you don't have to use DDW. Okay, so all these options you have right here, activities, and also it's very much used, you can close out document. You close them all out, and you can update UDFs. Very much like if you have UDFs, you just check them and you put the new value in here. Okay, so keep that in mind. So you save really time not doing it manually or DDW. That's administrative tool. Oops, antivirus is coming up. Dashboards. dashboards is, like I said, it came out 2017. I'm going to pull it up. I have it hidden right here. This is our dashboards. This ones you get with the usability package. Sales, purchasing, finance, service, production, you get this with the usability package. And then you can create your own dashboards. I just did a very simple one. I just did some text fields. You can create your own dashboards right here. And what I'll do, when you work in it, you just minimize it right here. Because if it's too busy for you, you just say, okay, I'm going to minimize it right here. Okay. So these ones come with it. Then also, if I'm not sure if you have any BAS users on. This is a manufacturing add-on from us, and we are working on having the B1 usability package features also available on the BAS side. So there is a slide I just got a couple of weeks ago. That's what our development is working on. It might be out already. I'm not 100% sure, but if you're a BAS user, please contact your partner, because you will have some features already from the B1 usability package. Now we're going to move over to print and delivery. Doing great on time. Perfect. Print and delivery. If I go into SAP Business One, I'm going to minimize my dashboard. I'm going to go to add-on manager. Oops, no, I didn't want to do that. Go to usability mod configuration. You saw most of this function. This, toolbox, tab control, and default data, and so on. All these features, of course, I have them all turned on. I want to make sure I use B1 usability package to the fullest. Then I have a tab here, productivity package. Remember the circles, you saw the yellow circles, I have those turned on, and the one we're going to cover is print and delivery. Print and delivery is a crystal report integration. I think I do have some slides. Okay, you can send out email automatically. Let's say you do a sales order, you click the add button, it sends out the email. I can schedule it like I can set it up like that. Or you want to do mass emails. Rather, by the end of the day, you want to send out all the air invoices with today's posting, get SMS. You can do schedule emails. For example, I will show a couple reports we have that comes with print and delivery. You can send out maybe by the end of the month, like an account balance. So you can automate your emailing also. Okay. You can do conditions. For example, if it's a first-time customer, you want to send a different email, you want to send a welcome email, a different email body, and you want to do additional attachments because you want to send information about your company, and maybe a catalog, PDF attachment, and so on. And I have actually a sample like this set up. So if I go to SAP Business One, you will see under module configuration, you also have a print and delivery folder. You have to attach your crystal reports in print and delivery. Boyum does send you more than 30 reports. We have HANA reports. We have SQL reports, and you can use them. That's why we provide them. A lot of people do it. For example, we have one report for all the sales and purchase documents. We use them for the AR side, for the AP side. It's designed so if it's an invoice, it says invoice. If it's an order, it says order. If it's a whatever it is, it's designed, it will say the correct document name on there. And it also looks at languages. If you have business partner and some documents you do in German or in French, it will translate it for you. I will show you that. So here you attach your crystal reports. You use ours or you use your own reports. Then you go to report actions. This is where you create your actions. Show report, preview report, print report, email report. That's what we're going to create. You can do multiple actions. When you send an email out, you might want to create an activity or an internal message to somebody. I have it set up. If it's the first quote I sent to a customer, I'm creating an activity for somebody to follow up because we really want them to accept the quote, and an internal message to somebody. And then, of course, you can do SQL condition. I will show you that. I'm going to pull up the email setup, and this is the email I use for all my documents. Okay, So I email the report. The subject, I want to have the object name. What is the object name? The object name is what document it is. Is it an AR invoice? Is it an order? And it explains you everything here, right here. And then the syntax 8 is the document number. So in my subject, I want this to be there. It would say, for example, sales order -754, whatever. Okay, then this is my email body. This email body is written in HTML. I don't know it. So you can also do it in plain text. Like this one is, I'm using this email for account balance. You see, I type in subject account balance and attachment account balance. I'm gonna go back here. Then here on the attachment template, here I have object name. The same thing because I want it to tell me on the attachment what it is. Is it an AR invoice? It is a sales order. And you can do additional attachments. I'll come back to that. Additional attachments is like, for example, like I mentioned, first time customer, you want to attach something about your company. Here you tell the system, who do you want to send it to? Select the contact person on the document. In my case, you can set up email categories, up to 5 categories, because on the business partner master data, I'm gonna move over here to show you really quick. If you go to the business partner master data and you go to the contact person right here, you have email categories right here. You can set email categories. Of course, I have not good oldest customer. There we go. I'm doing a webinar this afternoon about SMS, sending a text instead of an email. So here you can do email categories, and then in report action, you can do it by category, or you have all those options. It's really flexible. We try to make it so you have all the options you need. Then here, I'm using Outlook today. I'm using Outlook, and I'm going to save it as a draft because we are testing. You can send it directly, of course, or use, draft and display. You can use SMTP. Some people use Gmail. The only thing is you cannot save it as a draft. It will go directly, okay? And then you can use Exchange, okay? So once you have this set up, all you have to do is then you're going to tell print and delivery. It's very popular, print and delivery now. You will see in a minute. I'm going to show it in action. You're going to go right here. Okay, I'm using this crystal report. I'm going to do this when I print. Of course, this will be an action that prints the report. If I'm going to do an add button, I want to email the report. You see, I have the same actions here on the email. And if you look right here, I have nothing on the add button. I don't want it to do anything. But when I hit the email button, I want this to email. And you see right here, this is the one we reviewed. Now, if I go back to my quotation, because I will show it, when I click the add button, I want it to email, and when I click the email button, I have the same action. But look at this action. It's a conditional action. That's the one I showed you. If it's the first quote to this customer, that's my query, I want you to use this action. But if it's an existing customer, I want you to use this action. And you see down here on the first mail, I do multiple action. I'm sending them this email body. I want to change the email body. We want you to welcome as a partner. You see, I'm also attaching 2 additional attachments. Here it is. Okay. And then what else am I going to do when I send? It's the first time. I'm creating an activity and I'm creating an internal message, and I will show you that in a minute in action. Okay, and if it's an existing customer, you see, I'm using the one we looked at it. I'm using for everything. Okay, so let's go right here, and I am going to pull up my drafts right here, and I'm going to delete them. I apologize, I should have done. There we go. I'm going to delete them, so my draft folder is empty, and I'm going to pull up, I want to do a sales order. We like sales better, right, than paying bills. So I'm going here. This is a sales order, and I'm going to click email. You see on the bottom, it's connecting to my Outlook, and it's going to put in that email in here. Here it is. Okay. So it's a different language. So let's see, this sales order must be set to French. Now I'm going to change it back to English. It recognized the language, the same one I'm going to send now. And you see it says order, sales order. Isn't it cool? It recognizes the language. And see, oops, didn't want to do that. If I open up the sales order, you see right here, this is our report you get with print and delivery. It's all in English, but now watch this. If I click on this one, it's all in French. It does do the translation for me. So let's say you rather do mass delivery. You have this right here, a menu called mass delivery. So you say, okay, I want to send out all my emails or sales orders from today's date, and I want to send it as a mass. So you see it starts with 109 because it recognizes the ones already sent with print and delivery. But you can say include the ones I sent already. I'm just going to show you so you know. And then you're going to say, okay, I'm going to send those. And you see it's going to feed in here, to my case, as a draft again, because that's how I have it set up. Okay. So that's mass delivery. Oh, let me go back. This is a really nice one. You know, we all know when you send out statements, for example, then people, your customers usually come back, I don't have this invoice, send me a copy. This is a due date reminder I set up. We have actually the documentation on that, how to set it up. And I'm going to use MaxiTech, and I click OK. And what this does, it does this body. And actually, it should look like that, and I apologize. It really should look like that, like the grid. So you can put the grid in the body right here. And what it does, going back, it attaches the invoices. They're open. Watch this. It's one PDF, and it attaches them. So they will do not need to contact you and say, I don't have a copy of this invoice. This is a perfect one to send by the end of the month as a statement. And then the other one that comes with a print and delivery, I like also between the two, I always say those are the great reports to send by the end of the month, is account balance. If you look on this one, I do MaxiTech because there's the most in there, and it's the account balance. And you see this is the plain text. Remember, we looked at that too. And this one is kind of like, it's a statement, and it shows them, I like this one too, it shows them the overdue invoices in red, and the ones they're not due yet in green, but they are on there, and then it says future remit, and the one, whatever is due already. Okay, so those are very powerful reports. So how do you schedule it? How do you schedule it? You go up here, add-ons, and you go to your print and delivery folder, and it's right here. You tell it right here, okay, I want to do my account balance, if I could find it, account balance, and then you say, okay, I want to account balance, and I want to email it, and then success email, error email. Then you go right here, and you say, okay, I want to do it monthly on 11 o'clock at night on the I did monthly on the 30th of each month. Okay, you have to have a server component installed, but you know, of course, because it needs to, it's gonna kick it off. So let's go to the last example I had. Okay, I have a quote out there, and if it's a first-time customer, I want to have a different email body. Okay, so I do have one in there that only has one email because I use it all the time. Oh, let me do this. Let me do this. And I think this one has only one webinar. It's called webinar. This one has only one quote. Okay. Now I'm going to pull one out that has more than one quote. So if I go, so I'm using the same configuration. So I'm going to use one of theirs. Okay. So I'm going to send the quote for this one. So I'm going to email this, the email I mean, not the quote. I'm sending it, and there we go, sales quotation. And you see it's exactly the same I'm using for sales order. As you saw those sales orders, it's exactly the same action I'm using. because it's an existing customer. They have more than one. Now I'm going to go back, and now this one only has one quote in there. This is the first-time customer. So what they really should get is a different email, and they also should get additional attachments. So let's see. I'm going to click on that. And here it comes, hopefully. And there we go. Oh, I was tested here. You see, I want to welcome you as a partner, and you heard my internal message already. And you see, it does the additional attachments because I want to send something about my company. I want to do a catalog, PDF, or whatever your company's needs is. Pretty neat. And then if I go into SAP, you heard my internal message popping up. Oops, am I in the correct database? It popped up, I heard it. It was from yesterday, but I heard it popping up. Just don't see it. The internal message did pop up. Let me run it again. Oh no, this one is exit. Where did it go? And let me check the activity. There we go. I have the activity scheduled to follow up after 3 days. That's correct. It's going to be December 3rd. Okay. And I don't know where my message is because did I delete it? I can run it again, but I heard it coming in. I must have deleted it. For whatever clicked, happy clicker, but it creates the internal message also, of course. Because I heard it. I'm going to email it again so we see it. And it should come in here. So I do an activity. There we go. I do the internal message, new quote, and it gets a different email. If I create another quote for this customer, he will get the regular email. Okay. So that's it. This hopefully gave you a good idea what printed delivery can do. As I said, very powerful schedule. If you have our iPayment add-on, we have an iPayment add-on. People use it by the end of the day or schedule. They create an incoming payment document, like a receipt maybe, and then send it out to the customer. So then the credit card has been charged and so on. Okay. So back over to you, ladies. Or if there's any questions. Anybody here? Let's see if there's questions. Oh, questions here? No? Yes, I can see. Okay. I guess no questions. Somebody's unmuted.
That's me, Rosie. Hi, how are you doing?
You. Oh, good. Okay. I don't see any questions coming in. Let me try again. No. If you have any questions coming up,
yeah.
You do?
How do I arrange for training on the details shown today from Joanne? So training can be done by Signum, basically. And also we have a huge amount of videos, instructional videos, I think about 500 or something, all very well sort of categorized and keyworded on our YouTube channel, which I think Rosie is going to navigate to now. Yeah, and if basically you go on there to the Boyum IT Solutions channel and then playlists, you click on that one.
So that's you.
Yeah, you can access them on there. And yeah, there are tips and tricks videos which are a couple of minutes long, which show you how to do specific things, or sort of longer, more comprehensive instructional videos. But basically, first line of support is always Signum, your partner.
There we go. I have a print and delivery e-learning. Any other questions? I don't see him for some reason, Dan. You have to look.
That's all right. I'm checking it out now. I think that might be it. No questions from Martin. Yeah. that's that.
Cool.
And just to reiterate, I'm not sure if you've been told already, but there's a 15% discount for existing customers of Signum for any orders of any of these products placed before the end of December. So yeah, it's kind of a one-off just for Signum as a thank you for arranging this with you guys. So yeah, you can speak to Lindy or whoever at Signum to take advantage of that.
Thank you very much, Dan and Rosie. That was very informative. As Dan says, if there's anything you'd like to speak to us about, please do ring us, email us, shout, whatever you'd like to do to contact us. I'd like to thank you very much all for attending. And as I say, if there's anything you'd like to speak to us about, please do so. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Cheers, everybody. Take care.
Thanks, Dan.